Hi, Kathy here from Kathy's Cute Creations. Today I'm going to show you how to make a pillow from scratch. We're going to be using this here, Silky Soft. It won't be very big, it's just to give you an idea how to make it, and you can make them any size you want. So let's go over here to, I call it my drawing board. So let's get started. I'm going to make my pillow with muslin. You can make it with any fabric you want. I have it folded here. So it's folded. This is the correct length right here for my pillow because I'm going to use all of that stuffing. You want to cut this a little bit bigger than you want your pillow. Keep in mind you can always start out with it bigger and make it smaller, but if you make it too small you can't make it bigger. And this is just the outer part of your pillow. The reason I'm cutting this much off is this right here is the selvage, which has all the little holes in it. I do not want that to be in my pillow seam or anything. That weakens it. All right, so I'm going to cut that first. Now, if you do not have one of these kind of cutting mats, you take your second ruler and you lay it in so that you can get the width of your fabric. I'm going to make it 10 inches. I want this to be long, thin. And then you move the second ruler. Let me go ahead and put my weight on here. Move the second. There we go. And there you have it. Now I went ahead and I pinned the very beginning side, the length, and the width for starters. I start on the short end because that's where I'm going to stuff the pillow. If you don't have muslin, you can use any fabric that you would like. You can even use flawed fabric. If you've got fabric that is damaged some way, for example, you left it in the sun or it was in the window and the sun got to it and now it's got white or light spots all over it. Blotches is what I was trying to say. If that happens, you can use that fabric. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sew 5 1/8 inch, which is marked on my sewing machine panel here. I reinforce the end because that's the part that's going to get pulled and pushed on when you get to the end of your stuffing. So I want to make sure that it doesn't come apart on that end. So I go over it a couple of times. I'm using a 2.5 inch, which is just the standard on most machines. If you want to go smaller, that's fine. Just take your time. Try to go as straight as you can. And if you feel like you can't go straight, you can take a piece of tape and you can put it on the 5/8 inch and come straight on down your sewing machine so that your fabric just goes up against the tape. You can do that. Lots of people also, if you feel like the tape is too thin, you could take a little Post-it tablet and actually like pull it in half so that you've got a thickness to it and it can lay up against there, and then your fabric can't go over the top of it if you're worried about that. They have a lot of tools out there that you can use to put down your sewing machine also. I'm going to go ahead and finish this. Okay, I'm coming up the back side. And something else that will help you, when you're sewing, don't look straight down here at the needle. For example, let me show you. Okay, see the distance between the side of my foot here and this fabric. So when I'm sewing along here, I'm not looking right here. I'm looking at this overall distance. So I can just keep this part, which is your sewing, and you can just go, as you're sewing, it just keeps on going right here, which is the same distance. I mean, it's almost as if there's an invisible line here that your eye will actually watch. So don't just watch the needle. That's too confusing for beginner sewers. And that's why they can't figure out how to get a straight line. And it starts wiggling all over the place. That's just a little hint there to help you out. after I'm done, I'm going to take this top part here. I'm going to turn this inside out first. And what I did was I went to the corner here. And I actually have a chopstick. Just poke out that corner. There you go. And both my corners are poked out. This one needs another poke here. There you go. I didn't trim anything off. The first thing you want to do is make sure it's your size and everything before you start cutting and trimming, because once you've done that, you can't take that back. Okay, let's see here. There we go. That looks nice. There you go. And that one looks nice too. Now all I have to do, and at this point, you could actually take it over to your ironing board, fold it in where you've got your seams, where your seams are sewn like that. Let's go this way with it here. Lay it down. You can iron it. I'm going to finger press it. Or you could use whatever mine is. I don't know where it's at. There we go. A little wooden press here. Yeah, I could use that there. Because when you're done, all you're going to do is you're going to just stitch this shut. Nobody's going to see this. It's going to be in your pillow, and it could be at the bottom, so it doesn't make any difference. So all I did was just flatten this out so it'll be easier to sew it when I'm finished. Now I'm going to take it and stuff it. If you want to poke out your sides, you can. These out here, you can push them out. But actually, once it gets stuffed, it's going to take itself out like that. Just take the stuffing. There you go. Depending on the size of your hole, that'll determine how you stuff it. I can't take like a whole bunch because my hole's not really that big. But if you're making a standard size pillow, you know, you can take a bigger chunk of this. This is the softest stuff I have ever felt. I don't know how they can make it so soft. And since you've made this pillow, you can stuff this pillow as hard or as soft as you want. Put your hand down in there. I'm just pushing it down to the end. Oh yeah, that's nice. Even though I got him stuffed pretty, still pretty nice. There we go, some more in there. Okay, so notice on my pillow that this right here looks about the same size. But once I get here, it's got like a big bump. Well, keep in mind, once you sew this shut, this has got to come up and fill it out. All right, so you need to overstuff it just at the top part. This is how much I had left, just to give you an idea. And this was an 8-ounce bag. So now let's set this up to sew. Pin it at an angle like that, instead of straight up and down. Alright, now I'm just going to sew that. Okay. So, and then what I do is, to avoid it hitting this right here, is I push down on the pillow, because this is where all that foam is at. It's in there. And just slowly come along. Take my pins out as I do. And it's staying right on the edge there. A little bit there. And now what you do is you're going to shape that pillow. Because the main thing is to get all this stuffing up in the front here. And as you move it and wiggle it like that, it's actually coming up to the front part. Because that's pretty soft stuff in there. And we're all finished. There's the part that you sewed at the tail end of it right here. And I hope you like this video and you make yourself some pillows. Well, that's it for now for this pillow form. I hope you learned something new today, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.